guys, and welcome to a special episode of Anime Duo. I'm Cameron Morris.
I'm Jack Thomas.
And I'm here.
If you didn't,
there he is.
If you didn't see the last episode of Anime Duo, right at the end, this motherfudger came in.
Interrupted the entire show.
I'm well known for my fudging of mothers.
Yes, that is true.
Broke
he does like
the structure.
Yeah, he broke the structure. He sat on
running-
Jack's lap.
It was crazy.
Which ties us neatly to why we're set up like this for this particular episode instead of on the sofa. We couldn't fit.
Yeah.
We could not fit on that sofa.
No.
So this week is Attack on Titan, and me and Jack are going to do what we usually do, but he wanted to give his opinions because he's been known to prejudge Attack on Titan.
Well, rightly so, because the only experience I had...
Yeah.
The only experience I've ever had with Attack on Titan, firstly, this is going to be a slightly low quality episode. We're using a different mic because we're in this weird setup. So yeah. So apologies if the audio is a bit lower than normal, but yeah, you know, casual episode for Christmas.
Chill.
Chill.
Take it easy.
Why don't you chill?
I'm chilling.
Yeah, you better chill. Jack, come over there and chill you out.
Oh yeah.
Right. The only experience I'd had with Attack on Titan, which any joke I ever made about Attack on Titan before was based on this, was the Chibi Unity game. That's the only thing I'd ever seen in Attack on Titan.
Not a solid base point.
You're right. Yeah, you got a point there, Jack.
And the Gary's mod.
And the Gary's mod, but
Right.
well, what he just said times 10, basically. Also, I feel like I should say, you guys are obviously well established as anime fans. You are the anime duo, you know. I don't really watch anime. I watched a couple growing up. I've seen, like, you know, the classic, Dragon Ball Z, Pokemon,
D-Ball Z.
that one with the you know, the
the
no, the robots, and they go doom.
Gundam?
No, doom, that. They do that with the robot. They, like, press the back of it and it fires a ball at people.
Oh, I don't know.
I had one in real life as well. It's like, doom.
Are you talking about Beyblade?
No, I did that too, but was that an
I
anime?
did this too, but I
Pretty
did
sure
this.
Beyblade was an anime.
Well, it's
Whoa,
who didn't
what's
mute
that?
their phone? What part of muting
Oh, I'm
phones?
so sorry. I'm recording stuff, guys. Recording our conversation.
Up your nose.
So are we. We're trying to record something too. So I thought I should stress
Sorry,
that
guys.
I'm not really an anime fan. I've got no prejudgments about it. It's a medium, as any other medium. But some of the stuff that I may have necessarily not liked or liked might be because I don't really watch a lot of anime. So I wanted to say that ahead before we get into it.
That's fair enough. Now, we're going to say don't judge you because you haven't seen anime, but that's not futile. So.
I think you'll all be pleasantly surprised.
Alright, so I'm going to give my opinions, then Jack Thomas will,
Sure.
and then Jack Morris will go last because he's arguably the most anticipated.
Yes.
Okay,
Tension.
so let's talk Attack on Titan. Obviously, first we're going to talk about story.
do it, man. Let's
So
do it.
before we want to talk about story, I want to talk just the overall theme.
The overall theme.
This anime is... It's so depressing.
Yeah.
Yes.
I just want to say this first. Again, kind of like your thing. This might have affected my opinion on a lot of different things that weren't related to this. But I had such a hard time watching this. I kind of, when I started watching it again, I remembered why I stopped the first place.
Right. Too
I
much.
just couldn't get through a lot of it.
Yeah.
Like a lot of it
No,
was
it is-
so
it
like
is a
dark.
lot. It's so.
not dark is kind of a
Well,
broad term because dark can be like people fighting against
Yeah.
the dark, whereas this is
Well,
like
It's a tragedy. Isn't
I don't know. I think dark means
okay.
it pretty much means what it means.
Let's
I've never.
look at the
Breaking
Dark
Bad's
Knight.
really dark. Does that mean Walter White fights the dark?
no. But like look at the Dark Knight. The Dark Knight is people. It's a horrible.
The description of the movie, not the title.
No. The Dark Knight is considered a dark movie.
Okay.
You'd agree with that,
Yes,
right?
yes.
But that's dark, but
Right.
it has this through line of
It's
of
heroic
hope.
too, though.
Yeah, it's
isn't it?
heroic and it's
called-
like this
Denmark.
feels
I would
like
describe Dark Knight as gritty more than dark.
okay,
Yeah.
okay, but this is so like it's so just soul crushing. Like you
Yeah.
feel there is
It's intense.
there is one maybe two moments in each episode where they make you feel happy, and I understand that was the intention. I'm not saying
hope and dreams.
I'm not saying
Well, we know Jack's opinion on the
yeah.
show.
I'm not saying they were trying to make me feel happy when I was watching the show. It's
Yeah.
just they succeeded in making me feel like a horrible, like my existence was futile.
Right.
And I think that affected a lot of my show.
Yeah.
A lot of my show. A lot of
Well,
my
my
opinion on
show.
the
made the
I
show.
wrote this.
I did. I'm not very.
Well, I'm
Wow.
Don't be proud.
If you thought we talked over each other when there was two people,
blah, blah,
you're
blah,
in for
blah.
a treat.
But I think overall,
Oh, do me a favour,
Well,
switch that off.
one of my favorite things about the anime was that it accomplished that, but it also put me off a lot of things. So,
Right.
so I'll give you some examples. The character of Eren, right?
Yeah, Eren Yeager.
He's the main character.
Thank you. Because I don't know any of the character names.
Okay.
It's fair enough.
Is Aaron? I mean, you just said the main guy, so I was gonna ask, is he the main guy? Because that's what I called him. Was main guy.
Okay. Main guy.
That's
Main
it.
guy. Aaron.
You've got a series of nicknames, don't you, Joe?
I come up with nicknames for all the characters. Right, we probably should say, I feel like we haven't mentioned it, none of us watched the dub, right? We all watched
We all watched
we
the
watched
sub,
the sub,
because
yeah.
I heard the dub was awful.
It is.
It is.
You told me, you were like, Jack, you should definitely watch the sub. You should
Yeah.
watch the sub. Apparently the dub's bad. I'm like, it can't be that bad. Because I wanted to like stick it on in the background, and, play
Yeah.
WoW or play Counter Strike or something.
Yeah.
Oh my god, the dub is so.
Like, I'm gonna be all the Titans!
Also,
Yeah!
for those who haven't seen last episode, we watched 6 episodes. We watched. It's the
Me-
first
me and you
impression.
watched 6,
Yeah, me and
I
you
think.
watched 6.
I'll explain when I get to
Okay,
it.
we'll see. But okay, so what happened was, Aaron is this guy. You get introduced to him. Your introduction to him is sad. He's having a bad dream. Horrible things are happening, and then he
Yeah.
wakes up, right? And then he goes, and literally there's like a minute or 2 minutes of him being happy, where he's like, "Oh, I'm awake," and he runs to go see these guys who are coming from the outer walls, and then everyone is dead, and then he's sad again, and then his best friend's getting beaten up, but he's to run and help him, and then. Oh my fucking god! It just gets worse and worse, and all the points. You know when characters find they get to everything's going down, and then something motivates them to keep going.
Yeah.
Usually something good happens, or they find out something good is going to happen, and that motivates them. For Aaron, something horrible happens, and the thing that motivates him is he gets more angry.
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
like the Hulk.
Oh.
He's like, ah! He just keeps spurring him on.
That's one thing I loved about the anime is how close emotion is to human emotion.
Yeah.
Like, you have that guy I won't talk about it, I'll go into that later, but basically Aaron's facial expressions, and when he gets mad, it's so intense. You're like,
Yeah.
oh my god, this guy's gonna kill someone.
Something that really stood out to me in terms of that was the conveying of emotion is I was surprised was the voice acting. Now I can see why people don't like the dub after seeing the voice acting's really good. Even though I couldn't understand a damn word he was saying,
It's convincing,
you could
isn't
still
it?
feel the emotion. You
Yeah,
could still hear the
Put
emotion.
something into
He does. Oh yeah, no, this for that.
It's intense. It's good.
I kind of compare it to who's another Blue Exorcist.
Yes.
The guy who plays Rin in Blue Exorcist is really good at
he's
that.
really good
Yeah.
too. Yeah, there's some good moments with him.
Um,
the dub again. It's the same people who voice a lot of the characters as Attack on Titan, and oh god, not a good dub.
So yeah, my overall opinion of the anime was, we'll talk about when we get to the episodes, but
Cool.
I think it was very depressing, and I think from my standpoint, it was kind of hard to watch. A lot of people liked that about it.
I
but-
liked it about it
I
because I
like
like
that a lot
tragedies.
about it.
So, you know, yeah.
So what's your what?
All right. Well, the concept first of all is very unique, right?
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
I really like the apocalypse type genre in general, and I feel that Attack does it in a way that hasn't been done before.
Yeah.
Like, one thing I loved is the fear, like the primal fear you get from the Titans.
Mm.
When you first see them, they look funny, right? And there's that time with the ones running down the road like this, really fast.
I have a note about that.
There's a GIF on Tumblr, a post on Tumblr where they added like over the top. It's
Oh, that's so
hilarious.
funny. But I still find that scary.
Yeah, it's
You know?
very
It's so unnatural.
It's like
the
a
way he's
clown.
moving. Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
a clown, a
Yeah.
giant clown running at you like this.
Yeah. Oh, and like the intensity of it. It reminds me of the BFG cartoon. Did you guys see that?
Yeah.
Where they look really grotesque and they kind of like big slouchy looking men.
okay.
And they look human, but they're just big. And that's what I got from Attack on Titan, which gave me a lot of fear because I was scared of the BFG as a kid, you know? So that's where...
You know, as if a
That's
lot of
right.
people are. He's the big friendly giant.
I was terrified of him, I hated him. The other ones, you know, the
Yeah,
other giants.
you thought he was the big fucking giant.
But like, do you remember the evil giants in that?
Yeah,
They
yeah.
look really weird and creepy. I feel that, as we were talking about earlier, is the emotion and how well grounded and how realistic it is.
Yeah.
Like, just one bit from the first episode, how it ends, where I can't remember the drunk guy, when they meet him, he's drunk for the first time.
Oh.
I can't remember his name.
yeah.
But when he's like,
Happy Kakashi.
Happy Kakashi, right? Happy Kakashi. When he's going to fight the Titan, and he's like, I'm gonna save you kids and your mother.
Yeah,
And he
yeah.
runs, and he sees it
Yeah.
smiling at him, and he just goes, and he freezes up, and he doesn't know what to do, and he runs away and carries them and just goes.
I
I loved that. It was so realistic.
was very confused at that point
Yeah.
in the anime because I remembered main guy's scientist father, scientist dad.
Do you think that was him?
Yeah, because
Oh,
they had the
right.
same haircut. So I was like, is he shocked because that's his dad as a Titan? What's going on?
They're blonde though.
He's got
Oh,
black
the Titan.
Oh, you talking about the Titan?
Yeah.
Oh,
With the
okay. I
smiley
thought you meant Happy Kakashi.
Happy Kakashi.
No, not Happy Kakashi. No,
okay.
the main guy's dad.
He's good. I like Happy Kakashi.
Happy
He's a very
Kakashi's cool.
realistic character. I
Yeah.
think he's got
Yeah.
flaws and strong points and things.
Not to get ahead as well. One thing I liked about that guy, I like his aging felt real. Like 4 years later, he looks about 4 years older, and I quite like that.
Yeah. It feels. One thing I got from it, which I'm glad I read this because I completely forgot about it, but glad I wrote it down, is that
Jack patting himself on the back there for his own notes. Well, and me.
instead of it feeling like an apocalypse, it feels like a natural disaster. You know when you watch natural disaster movies?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
cool.
I can see
where
that.
everybody's in terror and they're all running away. That's what I got from this.
One thing
And,
that I think
I like that a lot.
Sorry, I wanted to add to the apocalypse thing that you said. I don't think I've seen an apocalypse movie, not like a post-apocalyptic movie like this, where it's not set in modern or future times. I've never seen them go back and be like, hey, it's
Yeah.
Fallout did it, but like not a lot of people have gone this far back and be
Well,
like,
right.
back
Something's
here,
happened.
something happened that stopped us getting to this point we are now.
There's theory that it happened in World War II.
Oh, that's cool actually. It kind of
you know that Mikasa's Japanese.
yeah,
She's one
yeah,
of the only Japanese characters.
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
said to be a luxury, or like very rare. You know,
Mikasa.
yeah. She's Scarf Girl.
Aaron's like sort of sister, half sister.
Resting bitch face.
These are the best things.
I got a billion of them.
But because she's Japanese, it said that this started in World War II, and the Japanese designed the Titans as a biological weapon.
Oh, that's cool actually.
So all people started getting turned into them, and then the world just turned to ruin. But that's where it's said
That's
to start
interesting.
from.
Because the costumes check out as well.
Yeah. I'm not sure if that's legit or if it's a fan theory.
It's a nice theory. I like the idea of
Yeah,
it.
it's pretty cool, isn't it?
Technology doesn't really line up though.
No.
No
I
cars.
guess if they're all destroyed and then rebuild, you know, maybe.
I
but-
suppose so. I think I'd lean more with Cam's thing there, which is happening ages.
Yeah.
I mean, they still use swords. They have cannons though.
Oh, they got such cool equipment. One thing I loved about the equipment, guys, is the what's it called, the maneuverability.
Yeah.
Advanced. I don't know. I tried.
Oh, it's so cool.
You couldn't remember Aaron. How do you remember?
I was like, I know this. I don't know this.
Yeah, I think it was a really original thing to do.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Jack said in the past as well, it's a cool concept.
You
Like,
might
at
wanna
least
use
that is
last
cool.
names.
Right.
Jack Morris.
Morris.
I said in the past, it's a really cool concept, and I agree. It's really cool, and I think
Yeah.
the addition of the
It's-
swords and stuff like that
it
is really
looks so
cool.
cool.
And it makes sense as well. It's not like they're like, we could use cannons or
Yeah,
guns, but we're
yeah.
using swords. Like, there's a reason they have to use swords.
Oh,
Yeah, I'll be honest. I know this is Jack's bit. Screw you. I'm talking anyway.
Go ahead.
Oh no, I don't want to because I give you commission. He's only doing it to
Keep going,
He's only doing it to get your attention. No. One thing I really liked is, as he said, was the technology and how
It's cool.
it actually felt necessary. Like when I
Yeah.
played that stupid chibi game, it was like, why don't you use a gun? Just type and gone. You know. But it makes total sense that they are genuinely threatening, and
Yes,
that is
yes.
having high mobility is the way to
Yeah,
beat them. And
yeah.
those swords specifically designed to cut chunks out of their neck.
In the manga, the writer says where that idea came from, and he had a friend who was a scientist.
Okay.
A friend who was a titan.
His friend was a titan.
Oh no, my back. What's up, man?
But he had a scientist work out how that would work and make it kind of grounded in reality so that it could be believable, you know, it's not so far-fetched.
Well,
Yeah.
which I found cool.
I read somewhere, or somebody told me, that apparently a lot of thought went into the gas canisters.
Oh, right.
And apparently they took a lot of care to make sure that it's roughly the same amount of time for somebody to run out of gas. Like, it doesn't just
Oh,
run out
okay.
convenient for the plot, so it'll
Yeah,
take...
so it's done grounded.
In universe, it'll take
That's
roughly
cool.
the same amount of time. I thought that was a real nice... If it's
Yeah.
true, I don't know whether that's
Yeah,
true, but if it's true,
if
it's...
it's true, that's great.
yeah.
That's such good. I got some cons, or should we go for them later?
I think we're all being positive. Should we go around and then
Yeah,
come back
yeah.
for cons?
Alright.
Yeah,
We'll go
okay.
back on that.
I haven't really been that much positive, but yeah, you can go if you want.
Okay, so... I think I'm going to surprise everybody here with
Okay.
my opinion of the show.
Okay.
I really fucking liked it.
Yeah?
I really, really fucking like this anime.
Okay.
Which brings me to all the things I hate. No, which brings me to why I haven't done what I said, which was watch every episode.
Okay.
Instead, because you guys watched the first 6, and I said last month that I would watch every single episode, and I haven't.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you for why. I was enjoying it too much. I didn't want to ruin it for myself by forcing myself to watch
Okay.
it.
Yeah.
Like, and that's not me copping out. I had well enough time. I absolutely could have watched every episode, but I didn't want to force myself. After episode 6, I have watched more than you guys, but after episode 6, I was like, I kind of want to stop now. I can't. I've had.
Piss it, like,
Yeah, I've watched 6 episodes in a row now. I'm enjoying it, but I want to do something else. But I watched like 3 more episodes, and then I was like, I'm starting to enjoy this less now. Not because of the show,
Right.
but because I've had to watch
You've
so
watched-
many
yeah,
episodes.
yeah.
So I decided I'm going to watch this anime all the way through, not even
Yeah.
for the show. I want to watch it. I enjoyed it that much.
That's cool.
But I didn't want to ruin it for myself for this show. And I hope
That's fine, man.
the people who are waiting for me to give my opinion will appreciate that. I mean, I imagine if I hated it and stopped watching, people might get mad, but I'm
Yeah.
not watching it because I liked it.
I honestly thought that this is just a sidebar. You can go back now, but when you told me like, I'm sorry, Cam, I didn't watch it all, but there's a valid reason, and I'll tell you when we do the show. I thought it was going to be that you were disgusted and you couldn't watch anymore, because that's what stopped me.
Right.
No, that was what kept me going. I like you were saying.
It's good.
You were saying about all that depressing stuff. That was awesome. That was
It's so-
why I was watching the show.
So realistic,
Yeah.
you know, and it's great to watch.
Well, alright, okay, I'll go through some of my notes, because I had
Go for
a,
it.
much like my writing style, I've kind of gone for a just stream of consciousness note-taking. Like,
Usually
my
the
top,
best way.
my top note is, animation good. So, let's talk about the
That's
animation.
late. That's late.
Well, no, because I got animation good, and then way down I've got animation great. so,
It got better.
so I really like the animation. I thought the animation
yeah.
was
Oh, it's
top
What
notch.
are you going to do when we talk about animation later?
That it was good and then great, and then beautiful.
Spoilers.
Alright, fine, let's move on. I've got, okay, on this list, I've got Titans not as creepy as Chibi Game, circled, then crossed out, and then nope, because yes, they are. Initially, I was like, well, yeah, they're alright.
I will say,
And then this happened, and I was scared.
Oh, the Colossal Titan is by far the least scary of all of
This
them.
one just looks tough.
He
you
just
know?
looks tough, and also like the way they've animated him is like it's all kind of smooth.
Yeah, yeah.
Whereas the other ones, they've got fucking shit coming out of them.
Yeah,
and like one, I thought I
yeah.
saw an arm coming out of his belly button.
I will share my opinion, but I have two more notes that I have relative to this.
Cool.
So the third one is, everyone in Japan is either 6-year-old or a monster. Which is a Family Guy joke that I stole. But I couldn't stop thinking that, because every character is 16 years old. Okay, also 7-year-olds can drink. Why can 7-year-olds drink in this
When
universe?
does that happen?
Bloody friendly Kakashi offers main guy a
Oh,
drink.
I think that's just like an uncle type.
Is he
thing,
7?
you know.
I don't know, how old
I
is
thought
he?
young.
Aaron was
He's
like
got-
13.
In the start.
Yeah, I thought he was like Naruto age.
Maybe 12, 13. I don't know.
Still, 12-year-olds can drink.
You drank
Yeah.
13.
Not legally.
I know, but they fucking...
gotta be illegal, Cameron.
Yeah, because
Sure,
they're
it's
kind
gotta
of the
be
law in this town.
Now, I do have another note that says Viz, and that's crossed out, so I'm not sure what I was going for there.
Visuals, maybe?
Maybe. Apparently I disagreed with myself, so. But no, I really am so shocked by how much I enjoyed. Like,
That's
I, to be honest, I did go in trying to like it. I didn't want to come in here and shit on something that,
Right.
loads of people love this anime. So
Oh,
I didn't,
yeah, it's very
I
popular.
really wanted to find the good stuff in it, but I didn't have to. Like,
Yeah.
first episode, I will say, little bit slow,
Right.
but it was worth it in the end. That
Oh,
end
yeah,
with his
that
mother
ends-
was
the end's great.
awesome.
Yeah.
Really, really, really awesome. I like the bit where main guy and resting bitch face save miles tales per hour from the bullies.
That's my favourite. Miles Tales Forever. Why
Yes,
he reminds
he-
me so much of Tails.
Yes,
now.
I know. I couldn't stop thinking it. That guy, that's Tails.
The eyes.
The blonde hair, and
Come
he
on,
needs to be
Sonic!
so.
funny.
And then when miles tales per hour, I keep going to say pouty bitch face, but that sounds mean. It's resting. She has a resting
Yes,
bitch
it's
face.
very resting.
She does.
Yeah, she
Right?
And I mean, you find out why, and it's pretty,
Yeah.
it's pretty understandable.
Yeah, legitimate bitch face. When they save when the resting bitch face and main guy save Miles from the bullies,
Yes.
it was a cool moment.
Uh-huh.
It was the only time I felt like the animation was let down though, because you've got main guy like anime running at the people,
Right.
and then it like pans around and she's just behind him staring at the bullies.
Yeah.
That was a there was some stuff with the animation as good as it was
It-
that stood out to me as being a bit off.
I think a lot of
Takes
that
you
was in
to
the
the
writing
limits.
though. Like I wouldn't blame the animators because the writing seemed to make her do that superpower move sometimes. Like there were some times, especially later when they're fighting Titans, where like she's like miles away from the Titan and then she just appears right next to
I
her.
think it's meant to show how good she is.
Yeah,
I know it's a
yeah.
bit like you have to sustain your disbelief, you know, and you just got to kind of get on board with it. But I do agree with you.
She's
It's a bit-
the
she
Batman
is
of this
good.
universe. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
she's so cool though.
No, I really did like the animation. The two things, I don't know, we're not doing negatives, but since I am talking about the animation, the two things I didn't like about the animation, I didn't like that they tried to trick us sometimes with stills. Like they'd show a still image and just pan slowly around it and do like that wind thing going past.
Ah, okay.
I don't
That's
get.
an anime.
Yeah,
thing.
I had a
Yeah,
feeling that was gonna be.
yeah.
Just show the still. You can just show a still image. It doesn't matter.
Don't need the
Yeah, don't try to stop trying to trick me, Attack on Titan. Right, it's not gonna work. And the other thing, it's not really a bad thing. It's more it just weirded me out.
Okay.
Why are all the bells 3D? Like everything else is 2D,
Oh.
and then there's random 3D models on the bells. Like, It's not bad. It's just why.
Yeah.
There's another anime that did that. I think we actually covered
A
it.
couple do it, but I don't like it in The Simpsons or Futurama or Family Guy. It
I don't
takes
like
me
when
a
they
bit
do
too
anything.
much.
No,
I
it's
feel
just
like
so
if you're gonna
weird.
do 3D, do 3D.
Yeah.
Like a lot of
Right.
like boss battles, the bosses will be 3D, and it's like now it just looks like the boss is something else.
Sword Art does it, I think, and they run around them like this, you know. They're 2D and the thing's 3D, and it just doesn't really work well.
Let's not talk about Sword Art.
Side note about that, I was genuinely shocked how many people agreed with you two about Sword Art. Because
I was.
I hear so many people talk that show up, and
people love it.
then you guys come on and basically shit on it, and people agreed with you.
Um,
We're not
well,
talking
I
about
didn't.
it.
I didn't shit on it. I just
well
fucking
grounded.
said I liked it, but
You clearly have some. I was going to say sober fans. I need a drink. I really need a drink. Yeah. So the thing I was really surprised about was just
How much you liked it? Is it?
yeah, but like I had a feeling I was going to like it, but I thought I was going to
Right.
like it in the same way I like Dragon Ball Z, you know, or the same way I like Pokemon.
it was like, whoa.
I didn't expect to actually connect with the characters on any
Oh,
level.
It's good for that.
Yeah, it's really good for that.
Yeah.
Like, especially after that first episode, it was just main guy he's my guy. He's my boy. He's my boy.
Aaron Yeager, he's a cool guy.
That was it, Yeager, yeah. 'Cause-
Yeager.
yeah.
Hunter.
Because it was
Hunter. Aaron Hunter.
funny hearing various people have to say that, like, and they'd be talking Japanese and they'd be
Yeager.
Yeager!
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they say Jaeger in the titles as well.
Yeah, I think so. He's
I couldn't.
He's German, I think.
I couldn't. Yeah, it is German.
Yeah.
I couldn't bring myself to read the subtitles for the intro song though, because I saw something about like when the rose petals fall or something along that. I was like, no, I don't want to know what it means. It sounds cool. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Intros are always like that.
I think, I feel
'Cause it
like
sounds different.
With the strength of the rose.
so when they sub anime, sometimes they'll change what they actually said to make more sense in English.
Right.
Like if you basically just translated it word for word, it wouldn't make sense.
Yeah.
With titles, I don't think they do that.
No,
so
they
sometimes you get like weird
It's
sentences.
disjointed and it's
Yeah.
just weird. I was trying to sing it in English as best I can to the tune. It never goes well.
Right, should we do negatives? Let's do
Yeah. Okay, I'll go
Let's
first.
do the same order, I think.
I don't like this. I feel bad because this is a special episode, but I clearly did not enjoy this anime as much as you guys.
So you didn't like it because it made you feel uncomfortable
That
from
was-
your own view.
I feel like I don't want to be, I want to be honest, and I think that really did make the things I didn't like to the forefront.
Yeah.
They pushed them a lot.
Okay.
There were things I didn't like about it, but I feel like if I didn't have that uncomfortable feeling all the way through,
As a person yourself.
I wouldn't feel it. I know we switched roles.
I totally get it now. I get why people wanted to punch me. I really want to punch you now.
Okay. One of the things is, and again, you're gonna want to punch me more. I didn't connect with Aaron a lot.
You didn't.
I really didn't connect
I
with him.
liked him, see, because
Yeah.
he didn't feel shonen-y to me, which I don't like a shonen.
I
genre.
agree with you. They really. Sorry.
Sorry,
I'm
Jack.
gonna have to translate this. Do you know?
He said something weird, and I was like, "That's weird." And then you agreed with him.
Dragon Ball Z is a really good example, actually.
Yeah, a
You've seen Dragon Ball.
shonen hero is someone who always gets back up, and they always have a last result.
They always get powerful,
And they keep,
and they keep getting
they
bigger,
don't
and bigger,
tell,
and bigger,
like they shout out their moves.
The Super
maybe.
Saiyan 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like Naruto can't die because he's Naruto. And
Yeah.
he just has a more powerful move that he's been learning in secret, never told the
Oh.
audience, that kind of thing.
When Pikachu knocks down Groudons. Like, that's not
Yeah, it
happening.
doesn't make any sense.
I don't care who
Pikachu
you are.
lost!
Pikachu should get stomped on.
Yeah, that's what shonen
We'll
is.
speak about getting stopped on it. This is so fucked up. I'm sorry, guys. I'm gonna actually.
You should be.
This is such a fucked up anime. Aaron, but again, back to my point. Aaron, again, he was a good character. I think it was really cool that he goes against the stereotypes of the main
And
character.
you feel like he can die. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, fucking hell. Talking about him dying. So yeah, I feel like Aaron, unlike you guys, clearly connected with him. I felt he was really unrelatable. I felt like he was really unconnectable because you have this really good setup. Like you said, the first episode was awesome, and we'll get into episodes in a minute. But like, first episode was awesome. You have this horrible thing that happens to him, and he's like distraught.
Yeah.
And then
It's on
everything he does from there feels.
I've got my notes. You keep talking.
Everything he does from there feels very. I mean, again, it's understandable, but it's not relatable. What are you doing?
What is that?
Shut up, Patrick.
It's fantastic.
Just keep talking, it's fine.
No, it's taking away from my point. People are going to be looking at it as opposed to listening to me.
Yeah, people. It's on the camera.
Um,
God,
so,
multitask.
so I feel like him as a character, I couldn't follow because he was so angry all the time.
Right. Well,
So angry, and I get it. I get why he's angry. I just don't relate to it.
right.
Because he doesn't know what being angry
No,
feels like.
No. But like Spider-Man. Again, this is
All right.
Again, we've referenced
That's
things
fine,
like
that's
that.
fine.
Right? Spider-Man is a good example of that, where he's super angry about this thing, but
Yeah.
he
doesn't
has that
express
aspect of responsibility about it.
Okay.
I mean, that's a big thing of Spider-Man. But because of that, you
Yeah.
feel for him because you're like, he has a bit of it that he's mad at himself.
Yeah,
Whereas Eren feels like he's mad at the Titans, and he doesn't really have anything more to his character.
Well, I couldn't relate to him, but I really like this character.
I agree with you.
I felt that he was believable, and I feel that someone would react like that.
Also,
especially if his mother just got torn apart.
not so much that, more that he's a child. You know, a child would have that.
He is
I'm going
very
to kill them all. I'm going to kill every single one of them. You know,
but then he grows up.
Yeah, he grew up thinking that though. He
Yeah.
grew up
He's still-
wanting to kill all the Titans.
He's still 16, isn't he? Then
I think he's 6. No, I think he's.
So-
I'd counted and I guessed he was about
Yeah.
16.
well, he'd be in that angsty stage, so it would still be there.
Yeah.
and then I guess
Titans were the.
stupid Titans.
I will though say, on the flip side of that, is it Mishka? Is it
Mikasa.
Mikasa? Sorry, I can never
Resting
say her
bitch
name.
face.
Resting bitch face. She's so good.
Oh,
She's
awesome.
She's my favourite
She's
character.
awesome when
Probably
you
my
don't
favourite
know. You get this idea that some fucked up shit happened to her, and then when you see what happened to her, you're like,
Oh,
okay, I was completely right.
Yeah.
And the way she deals with it is so believable. And like,
Yeah.
this is a good example. I don't relate to her. I don't think that.
I do.
Oh, okay. But I'm like, oh, I remember that time when my parents were murdered. But like,
yeah.
it's that thing where it's like it's not relatable, but you can sympathize.
Oh yeah.
Whereas
definite. Yeah,
I
it's
didn't get
hard.
that with Aaron for some reason. Again, I
Okay.
think it comes down to taste mostly.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
It's
like,
because he's never. Again, you've never been angry.
but I think it was such an interesting thing that someone would see this and be like, okay, I guess my response to this horrible situation would be to never feel anything in my entire life.
Right.
And then you see these aspects where it's like she never feels anything, but then you see the feelings come through. Stuff like,
yeah.
especially when stuff like happens to Aaron, where he's like, she's like, don't die.
It's
You know?
almost jarring then, isn't it?
Yeah,
When
and
you
it's
do
so
see it.
cool.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
this character, because when she reacts to things, you're like, oh fuck, it must be big. When Aaron reacts to things, it's like, oh, he's
Well,
fucking
Aaron's
angry all
always
the time.
angry. I
It's
kinda
like
like
he
that
drops
though.
his milk. He's like, oh, I'll kill the Titans.
Titans.
Blames the Titans for everything that goes wrong. And it's like stubs his toe. Titan.
Yeah. I do think that Tails was a little bit forgettable.
Oh, I did. That he was my
Well,
least favorite character.
See, I didn't know this, but yeah.
Was Tails a boy or a girl?
He was a boy, dude.
Alright, okay.
Okay, fair enough.
But I didn't really like him when I read the manga, right?
Yeah.
But during the show, I felt him more stable character, right? Because what I've heard is that he's a lot of people's favorite character.
Okay.
Right?
I'd like to
Because-
change my thing that he's my least favorite. Absolutely brilliant. Loved him. Miles Tails proud boy.
Because he just has so many flaws, and that's human. Because he's
Yeah,
not
I do-
strong,
yeah.
but he's really smart, you know. But that doesn't come across much. But he is, and you
Yeah.
know he's thinking. There was a point in. Let me see if I got it. No, I don't.
Christ, Jack took more notes than I did. I got bullet points.
I have my fairy.
Yeah, but yeah, I like him more than I did when I read the manga. Anyway, I
Okay.
much rather
There
this as an
was
anime. but-
there was a moment again. I didn't dislike him as a character. I think a lot of the characters grew on me towards the end.
Yeah,
In the beginning, I thought he was a bit. I was like,
yeah.
why is he here? Whereas the bit that I really was like, okay, I understand why he's here now. Is when he's trying to get the gas canisters
Yes.
and he's shaking.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
this is a cool moment.
Yeah,
Like where he's
yeah.
like, there's no point. There's no point.
Yeah,
And
The
I was
one
like,
that
Oh, yeah.
really grew on me that I did not like when she first turned up was Potato Girl.
Oh.
I like her now. I
She
did
is
not like
my
her at first.
favourite
Didn't like-
character.
I felt she was so. I mean, for Christ's sake, it doesn't matter who you are. You know you don't eat bread in front of your
But
commander.
here's the thing, right? And again, that's where your anime thing comes into it. I feel like anime does that really well, where they show you dire situations and then they have humor in it.
Uh-huh.
This anime lacked that for a reason. They intentionally did that because they wanted to make it feel dark. But clearly, in a positive response to you guys, I was like, "Where's the humor? Where's the bit where it's like all hell's breaking loose, and then the only character that's making humor out of it is Sasha with the bread, and I loved it. It was so
Right,
funny.
yeah.
The line I love is when it was like, oh, when he told her to laugh, she didn't care, but then he said you couldn't eat, and she cried.
Yeah.
That's
One
so
of my,
funny.
you say there weren't funny bits, but I had to laugh. I did laugh. I mean, I had to rewind the thing because I missed what was written on the screen because I was laughing so much when we found out the commander's name, and he's this big, like, his eyes are all these. Okay.
Yeah.
What's your name? I'm Keith. Brilliant.
Yeah.
I thought that was a translation thing, like the subtitle, but he does it. I'm Keith. You know, it's like his name is Keith. Is that racist? Racist?
No, I don't think so. It's
That's
just
just
a voice.
no offense to any Keiths out there, but you have a really shit name.
If I go on to the cons now, so we can do that, then we can go through
Yeah,
the
I do want to. Can I say one more thing
Yeah,
though
yeah,
about
go
the
on, go for it.
generic cons?
One more
Yeah,
thing.
I feel
Make it count.
again. This is going to be so ironic considering I'm wearing a Fairy Tale.
I like Fairy Tail
Thing.
more.
Not the
Okay,
time.
That's not the time. It's another episode.
Okay.
But I feel like it's ironic that I'm saying this because I'm such a big Fairy Tale fan. I think there's too many characters.
Oh, did you?
I think
What are you talking about? We got main guy, rested bitch face, Miles Tails per hour, Happy Kakashi, Tall Baldy's girlfriend, Potato Girl,
bitch that doesn't like Potato Girl.
the one who becomes giant because I've played the game. Yeah. There's
Surely she's resting bitch face, or she's resting
she's
bitch
just
face.
bitch. That's
Is that Annie?
yes.
Yeah.
Annie's cool.
I remember Annie's name. 'cause-
I
because of the
think
game.
I think the problem necessarily isn't the
Thomas. I remember Thomas.
amount of characters. It's the fact that they have so little time to spend on all of them because it's Aaron's story.
Well, reading the manga, I didn't bond with any of them. Watching the show, I bonded with a few. I really
Yeah.
like Raina. Is it Braun Raina? He's like the big guy.
Is that Baldy? Big Baldy.
Yeah, he's really. And he
Oh, no,
carries
isn't it-
Armin's bags, and he's like,
Yes,
"I'll do it."
yeah,
And I was
yeah.
like, "No, I gotta do it," and they carry. I like
Yeah.
that because it's like drive. You know?
But he's a
But
bit
it
of a
feels-
dick. I mean, he's understandable, but he's a dick.
Yeah. This goes on to one of our cons because we know. Go on.
Sorry, I
Sorry.
like my again train of thought. It's like I just gotta say it or I'll forget to ask later.
Yeah, yeah.
This is a genuine question just about anime in general because it might just be a common thing, but it really weirded me out at first.
Okay.
Is headbutting just a thing in Japan? Like, is that how you punish people, or is
Yeah.
that's just an anime
It's
thing?
in a
Is
lot
it?
of anime.
Right.
I think
Because Japan
Naruto
very
really
strong, but-
put it into the.
Was really fucking weird.
But yeah, my thing about a lot of people is I feel like a lot of people when they die, you're just like, oh.
Really?
like Thomas. I didn't connect with Thomas a lot.
That was awesome. That moment was really good.
I thought he was cool. It's like, oh
it
my
was
god.
like it was like the first time we'd really seen how much of a threat the Titans are. Like going in, I was like, all right, I'm probably going to try and enjoy this. I'm not those things. I'm not going to care. They're gonna be like the zombies in The Walking Dead. You know, it's
Right,
like
yeah.
they're only there when the character needs to
Yeah.
die. Otherwise, they are no threat. And then that one like leaps up. It's like, oh my god, these things are fucking terrifying.
Well, they kill the one when they kill Thomas specifically. I was like, it was cool because it was shocking because they were all so positive and they all go like that. But I didn't care about Thomas.
I'll agree with you there. I didn't have much bonding with Thomas, but I still felt his death mattered.
Yeah.
I still felt
Yeah,
it was like,
okay.
oh my god, these Titans are something to mess with.
Unlike Sword Art Online,
Unlike Sword Art
where we
Online.
didn't feel like the deaths mattered, did we?
Yeah,
You
Cameron
weren't
did.
there. You weren't
Cameron
there.
did. He cared about that.
I cared about the
Bitch,
girl.
what was her name?
But I think that there were some characters that really did.
Right.
Even subtly, like there was some characters where it was like one scene with them, and then when they died, I was like, "Oh fuck, they died."
I didn't.
Right,
I
okay.
was weirdly sad when Awesome Hair Girl died. She
Who's
had
Awesome
like
Hair Girl?
one scene. She was the one with the awesome hair, and she was a girl.
I don't know what you're talking
She's the
about.
one who, right? You know, right after Thomas dies, and they're all one of them gets like as he's going on his rope, and then the girl gets like one of them grabs it and grabs her rope.
Yeah,
and pulls
yeah,
it.
yeah. I didn't care about her.
I didn't care about her, but I cared about her death because I realized it was like that was when this mobility thing is actually not as it doesn't make him immortal. The Titans are smart enough to just go
Oh yeah.
fishing line.
If you use it well, it's good, but you can still die by it.
It doesn't
It's
make you
not like
immortal.
yeah, it's not
and
OP.
I think they needed that because I was starting to feel like,
Yeah.
well, they can basically
They'll
fly,
win.
can't they? So
I think that I think the one character that this is a really good example of how they did make you care about them in such a short amount of time.
Okay.
The character that I can't remember his name, but him and this other girl had a relationship.
Oh,
Tall
yeah.
Baldy and Tall Baldy's
man,
girlfriend.
that scene is hard to watch.
And when she's like doing that and
She's
trying
like
to wake him up,
crying,
that was the
yeah.
one thing where I was like, you haven't seen these characters barely at all.
Oh, yeah.
But because of those two scenes, the one where they're like, oh, you fancy each other, and then another where they actually hug.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like that's how you get them to care.
You know he's dead, and she's just
Yeah,
going
yeah.
to town on his chest, you know, and it's like, oh my god, what? And
Yeah,
Armin's
yeah.
just there, like he's dead,
Yeah.
you know.
Plus, I was fucking pissed at Armin when he was like, "Oh, we gotta go." She's like, "Are you fucking serious?"
He's on edge, man. I don't know what to do.
He's like, "We gotta go. Come on."
I gotta go help Sonic save Central City.
Eggman's about.
So, yeah, sorry, I took up so many cons.
I want to just jump in there because I found this show does have a really weird reaction to death in general. It's not bad, but one of the other times where I sort of burst out laughing was, so you know when those guys are coming back in the first episode, the scouting party, and
the hand.
yeah, just tell the mother her son's dead. Don't
I
give
thought-
her
yeah.
his sad that has like, there you go, we brought this back. No, just say I'm sorry, your son died. Not look at his severed hand.
The best thing is when she tries to call his spirit, which is like, "Hello." She's like
Oh,
this,
man.
and it looks like she's using the phone. She's like,
Like that is some like really like Team 4-star dub was like, It's for you. Hello?
They make her unwrap it too.
I know.
Oh,
it was such a
fucked up.
like.
Right, unwrap
Tell
this.
her.
Oh, a present.
Take it to one
My
side.
son's arm.
You should just put your arm around. Your son's dead. There's no.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Give it to him as a gift. Here you are.
So do you wanna talk about cons? now?
Yes, I've only got a couple. One is quite major, which I didn't like the show, right? Before I watched the anime.
I thought I was gonna be it. My one con. I don't like the show.
Contrary to popular belief.
Right, I'm not sure how much you watch, but we all know that Annie turns into a Titan.
Yes.
We know that Eren does the same.
You
Right.
can really pronounce his name.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
Eren.
Eren. It's German name. Eren. In the initial, one con I've got is the initial appeal enough to sustain, right? Because it changes in mood and tone a lot from the get-go,
Yeah.
and it goes from survival show to a conspiracy show.
Yeah,
Who's a
yeah.
Titan? Why are they attacking the people if they're all people?
I still don't know who the Colossal Titan is.
Yeah.
I mean, not to spoil it for Jack, obviously.
Yay.
Like I know who the charging one is,
Okay.
but once you know, you could guess.
I don't know.
Like if you just look at him and think who looks like that guy, you'd be like, oh, I know that must be.
Yeah,
this guy.
yeah.
Yeah. Jack, do you know?
No, no
No
clue.
idea. We'll tell you off.
I think I
In case
know.
we spoil it for people.
Is it Eren? No.
Aaron!
No, that's not.
Aaron!
Wait, he doesn't know. They don't know.
I know that. I know what happens to Aaron.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, like the change to me is a bit jarring, but like it's been compared to The Walking Dead, right? Like on the manga, it says Japan's Walking Dead, and I was like, okay, cool, I'll read it, but I don't.
No. I actually kind of agree with that in a way.
Do you?
Yeah. I can see what they mean. It's not obviously it's not really like The Walking Dead, but kind of has the same like.
I think to start, it does. Like I think they start survival. You're in an
The bit where
apocalypse, right?
Aaron wakes up in a hospital and gets on his horse.
Yeah,
I mean, the horses I get.
But
I mean the tone I guess is very similar.
it's
I
tragic.
I wouldn't have said that if you'd asked me,
Yeah.
but now that they're saying
Right.
I can at least see why they said that.
Right.
Yeah.
I didn't agree with it once you've watched a bit of it. I think it becomes its own thing. But as an initial selling point, I kind of guess it's alright, you know? I basically wrote here, they're both tragedies but for different reasons. You know, Walking Dead is very much more...
I don't need notes on that anymore.
Walking Dead is very much... Walking Dead is an apocalypse, right?
Yeah.
This never really feels like an apocalypse. It's like, as I said...
It feels like
more-
you're fighting against the apocalypse.
As I said before, like more like a natural disaster. You know, like they
Yeah,
come and
yeah,
then you've got
yeah.
to survive, and then it may come again. You know, like waves and the attacks and deaths are like unpredictable. Whereas in The Walking Dead, you can kind of work out when they're coming.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Well, that's my not to review The Walking Dead and anime duo, but that is my major
Yeah.
criticism of Walking Dead. Is how
Yeah.
predictable it is.
Oh,
you
yeah,
know,
for
it's
that,
so.
yeah.
I love it. One of my favorite shows,
It's-
but
it
it
is
is
a good show.
so predictable.
Right. That's all my cons. So Jack, do you want to go over?
I don't have any.
No.
I am so shocked by how much I liked this anime that I couldn't. Aside from the ones I spoke earlier, where the animation is a bit weird, and I feel like they were trying, great animation, but the 3D bells was a bit odd, and they're trying to cheat this with
Right.
the
Really
stills.
minor things.
Yeah, one or two characters fell a bit short. I can't it didn't make enough impact for me to even remember, but I know there were one or two that I was a bit about. And like what I said about the woman's arm, I felt like some things were, without wanting to sound racist, just a little bit too Japanese for me. Like I've never been that connected with
Western storytelling.
Eastern storytelling.
Eastern storytelling.
I find it. I found personally I never really connected with characters. They're not JRPGs for the same reason that much. This time I did.
Yeah.
I connected with a lot of the characters, but there were still one or two, like the Sasha. Like it took me so long to get into that character, just because she just felt so Japanese, you know. Like the thing I always find, maybe people will correct me on this, but a lot of non-main characters in anime or just Japanese JRPGs and stuff, they have one trait, and that is their one trait. That is that one thing that character's about. And Sasha's was food. That's such a weird. Why?
Yeah, I guess what you mean. I mean, like.
I know that's, and I'm not saying that's a black mark on the show. I know that is something that
No, that's
a lot
just
of people,
something
that'll be
like-
something that a lot of people like about it. It just,
It's
Yeah.
something that's just in the form of media.
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah,
You
it
know, you have
is.
just to kind of get on board with that.
I can see what you mean. It is something that I liked about it. Like it's the thing where it's like
Yeah, I didn't.
a
mind
lot.
it,
A
yeah.
lot of the times, the good characters that do that is on the surface, it's that one thing, and
And
it
then
seems like
it's
it's weird,
deeper.
and you realize why.
a lot of Western
Yeah.
stuff will do that. They'll present a character, well, to use one of my favorite shows, Breaking Bad does that with Jesse. They give you Jesse, and he's a dumb stoner. No, he's not. You wait, he's not a dumb stoner.
Yeah.
And so you can do that, but you do have to do the flip. And
Oh,
hopefully, maybe Sasha does. I mean, I've
Yeah,
watched
who knows?
9 or 10 episodes. I can't remember what I got up to. Well, I can remember the exact episode, but I don't really want to spoil it in case.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Because we were always supposed to review the first 6.
Alright,
Yeah.
Shall we go for episode 1?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. Right. So, first of all, one thing I noticed about episode 1 is it's got a great use of imagery and sound. I remember there's a bit at the start which really you don't really sure what's going on. It's quite eerie.
It's his dream.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
and you're not really sure, but it kind of intrigues you enough to make you interested. The pacing's great.
I disagree.
I disagree
disagree?
too.
I wouldn't say it's bad. It isn't
Oh,
bad.
yeah, you said earlier. That,
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
I would have watched the entire episode. It gripped me enough to make me want to watch the entire
Right. So
episode.
it wasn't awful, but
Yeah, and the payoff is well worth it.
Okay.
I just felt like it was a little bit too slow for me. It was like it just took just a little bit too long for the Titans to show up, but after that everything was great.
Yeah.
And it was worth it. I absolutely get the build up, and there was the
That's
bit with the scouts coming back that was great as well. Obviously not bad enough for me to on a scale from like -10 to 10, it's
Right.
above 0. It's
Right,
not bad.
okay.
I think the thing with the pacing is it was just a bit off to me. It didn't ruin, again, like Jack said, it didn't ruin the episode, but I feel like it could have been shorter. You could have had the Titans come in a bit earlier, like Jack said,
Okay.
or you could have them arrive right at the end. I feel like you have this weird thing where you don't have enough time with the characters to develop them a lot. But you also, if you wanted to do that, you could have developed them post-Titan, or during the Titan attack,
Alright.
and they
Yeah.
don't give enough time for that either.
Yeah,
So it's in this
I
weird way where it's like the Titans turn up and then all of a sudden it feels like another episode.
Yeah.
Right.
The bit where I really do remember thinking, oh, this is getting on a bit now, you know, and like I went, because I knew the Titans were going to show up. They wouldn't do the entire first episode with no Titans. I knew eventually there would be Titans, even if, like you said, it was right at the end.
Yeah.
It was after they have Resting Bitch Face, the main character, have dinner with his parents.
Yeah.
Like, that bit was okay. Then after they leave that house, everything from then up to the Titans attack didn't need to be there. Like, I know they needed to introduce Tails. I know they needed to do that.
Yeah.
You're laughing, right? But that is legitimately what I call those characters. Like, I'm not even thinking about doing it. That is just the name of that character.
So funny.
Um,
You look so much like him.
he couldn't stop thinking it. He is Tails. That whole saving him from the bully. I get they needed that. You needed to have 5 minutes. You know, it could have just been a minute. Or they could have even explained it in a flashback. Or in the next episode, explained who this character is in a flashback, you know? So there were bits in the first episode where I was just, alright, you know, get on with it. But it certainly wasn't bad. And, you know, after, like, the bit with the mother,
Yeah.
episode 1, like, from the outset, they established that these Titans are dangerous. Because, again, at first, they don't look threatening at all. They look purposely goofy. Like you said, they do look really goofy, especially the run. It's insane. But you do get that these things are just, they're
Terrifying.
bigger than you. You know, and that's it.
It's like
And
primal, you know.
and they're quite quick. I like that. I
Yeah.
thought they were going to be slow and lumbering, and I was like, well, like the zombies in The Walking Dead. You know, so just turn the other way. Just brisk pace. That's all you need.
Yeah.
But these things are quick. Grab, dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. In the second episode, I didn't like so much. I really didn't like it
No?
because it was so slow. Like,
I thought this one was faster than the first one.
I felt that they tell you a bit of lore at the start, right?
yeah.
I'm glad they started doing that. They should have done that in the first one. They really could have... Because the city structure, they explained it in the second one, how the cities are structured.
Why it's like that.
That's cool. That made sense almost. Like, I don't really think it would happen in the real world, but you
Right.
kind of see it, you
Yeah,
know? Like, the
definitely.
humanity might do that. But in the first one, I was so confused. I was like, well, the wall's gone down. Everything's lost now, innit? You know, that's their wall. They're screwed. Like, I wish they'd opened in the first episode.
Right.
I understand that might have been a bit of a boring dump at the start of the first episode.
That's why I disagree, because I feel that by now you know if you're gonna watch more of the show. So then they can lug you with
Yeah.
backstory.
Don't worry, I
and
get
lore.
why they did it. I
You'd
just...
rather they-
Yeah, because I was a bit confused when the first wall fell. I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
because I just thought it was one wall, you know, and
Yeah.
that was it. So
Yeah.
I was also really confused that like they talked about going outside the walls were dangerous, and Eren wakes up outside the walls. Like, what's going on? It's like he's inside the walls, but he's outside the main walls.
Yeah. One thing I noticed in that episode, there's not many I had for this episode, but one thing I loved is when there's two guards and they're by a gate and they see the Titans and their faces. They
Yeah,
just look so scared. They're just like, and it's so well animated. They just
Close the gates! Close the gates!
They look terrifying.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh my god, this is so intense.
Yeah.
Fear is something that I think the anime does best.
Oh yeah.
You genuinely feel like those characters are afraid, and they give you a very good reason for these characters to be afraid. When they present the Titans, they present something that really will wipe out humanity if they don't try.
Terrifying.
Yeah. I think moving on, unless anyone has a problem with episode 3.
I honestly, because I watched them back to back to back, I'm having trouble dividing the episodes anyway.
So episode 3 is when they basically
Start training.
you start training.
Yeah.
I felt like this. I thought I was like, this is gonna be my episode. I love character stuff.
Okay.
Like I like all these different characters they're introducing, and they talk, and they kind of have all their opinions. One of my favorite mangas is Bakuman, and that's all it is. It's just people talking. There's no really conflict or anything.
Yeah.
But I found it hard to care a lot of the characters. Is it Gene, the guy who wants to be in the inner walls? He just wants. The only reason he's
the one
training is
Aaron
'cause he
butts
doesn't-
heads with. Sort of.
Yeah.
Quite literally.
Oh yeah, literally too.
This guy, I was like,
That's man.
I don't give a fuck. Like,
Yeah.
he just kept repeating the same thing, which is, like, at first I was like, okay, that's interesting, a guy who's joining the military so he never has to fight, like, that was cool. And he kept saying it, and saying it, I was like, oh, fucking, we get it!
I will,
right?
I will say, out of all the ones I watched, episode 3 was the one where they were training.
Yeah.
Right? That was my least favourite. I don't think the anime did it badly. I think anything will do that
You
badly.
just need it though, don't you?
You kind of do, but I'm not sure if you ever need to devote an entire episode to the training, unless,
Right.
say, like Naruto, where it's all about his training, you know?
Yeah.
I disagree with you.
Well, my point, the reason I'm...
Yeah.
Yeah. Interrupt. Screw you. I wasn't done with my point. I'm going to be here once. The reason I dislike that is just because you know how it ends. You know he eventually, whatever his problem is, he's going to figure it out, and he's the main guy. He's going to be... he's either going to be good, or the anime is going to be about him being bad. Like, the training doesn't mean anything either way.
Drawing off that, I like when he gets disheartened. Like, I felt that
Yeah.
felt real, rather than usually it would. Again, it's why Aaron isn't shonen. It's like usually they'd be like, all right, I'm gonna try harder and I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna be the best. But he's like really mopey about it. He's got a blank face, and Mikasa still give him confidence, and he's like, all right, I'll try again.
I will see, there's a bit in this anime which is weird, where he goes from Shogun, it's not Shogun, to a little bit Shogun.
When he's like holds it up
When
without the balancing,
yeah, oh my
that
fucking
bit
god! I was
was
like, this
confident.
is ridiculous.
I was like, there's no way, you know,
because it was like, oh my god, and they really, they kind of broke character and started acting a bit Shogun, where it was like, oh my god, he did it without the fucking shitty.
I'm glad to hear no, because I was worried. Because I thought that is exactly that, and I
Yeah.
was like, "Oh, this is probably just an anime thing." I probably don't like this because I don't really watch a lot
Oh
of anime.
no, a lot of anime fans who like more grounded anime don't
Yeah.
like that. You know,
Yeah.
I used to like it as a kid because I was like, yeah,
Well,
I can do
yeah.
anything.
I mean,
but-
I'm sure I'd feel like that if I went back. Well, when I've gone back and watched Dragon Ball Z, as much as I like it, it is like, well, I mean, how many
Yeah,
Super Saiyans you got? You know, like you think it's
Yeah.
Super Saiyan 8 at this point.
The way I look at it is you can watch one shonen anime and enjoy it. And you can maybe watch 2 or 3, but when you only watch shonen, you notice it a lot more.
Well, it's one of those things that I compared Walking Dead. They were totally right because I keep going back to Walking Dead for comparisons. Is like when you know a character's not going to die, you either stop trying to kill them or kill them. You can't keep putting them in danger because
Yeah.
you know they're not going to die.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like that with Rick in The Walking Dead. It's
Oh,
like,
yeah,
he's
Rick-
gonna be
Rick-
fine.
Rick's good.
He's not. He's gonna be good for a couple more seasons. Yeah, he's the star.
I mean, I like characters like that.
But you can't put them in danger constantly.
Yeah,
What you
exactly.
do is you put other characters that they care about in danger. That's what you do. That's how The Walking Dead game did it as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
You know your character's gonna be alright through all the episodes, so they put somebody else in danger instead, and that's great.
Okay.
It's kind of implied, or it might even be shown, I can't remember, that the resting bitch face did that. That she fucked his equipment. Am I the only one who thought that?
No,
I didn't get that at all.
No.
Because the entire episode she's telling him to give up.
Oh, maybe then.
I mean, the reason it makes sense. I never got that impression. Though.
No, I thought it
I
was the
don't
other
know.
guy. See, the
I
guy
thought it was the
who's
other guy. Yeah.
Up to get in, but that makes sense actually.
I thought she was, because she's always trying to quit the
She wants
military
him
and
to
never
be
done it.
safe,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
Yeah,
She
no, I
regards
get it.
him.
I didn't get that impression myself, but your reasoning makes
Yeah.
That's
sense.
interesting.
I
Actually.
again, this might have been, and that's a pro on the show, because
Yeah.
I really like that.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
one thing
if
is,
that's true, then yeah, that's
yeah,
great. But
the one thing is, I feel like they should have dealt with it in a different way. That didn't turn out like the way it did. It should have been. I think it would have been really cool if he kept failing and failing and failing, and then at the end he goes to try, and everyone's like, "This is the one where he's going to do it," like it does, and he just fails straight away, and then they find the problem with the equipment. That would have been pretty
That would
cool.
have made more sense.
Or they could have done it so the equipment wasn't broken. He just fucking sucked.
And
And then right at the end, he
really
does.
bad at
He
it.
does like.
Because
figure out
that
how
makes
to do
sense,
it.
you know. It's not like
Yeah.
disbelief. You can believe that. You could get better just by
'Cause-
persevering.
Because if you think back on the rest of
The
the
fact that it's
episode,
broken.
yeah, if
Yeah.
you think back on the rest of the episode, it all kind of becomes, all the advice and stuff he got is all null and void. It was all just the equipment that was
yeah,
broken.
exactly.
Um,
It does, though. You know, I understand why this character has to be a natural. Like, I don't like that as a plot device.
Yeah.
But then you look at the crap they have him do in the later episodes when he's flipping around and stuff. If he was just shit, well, how's that character doing that? He's rubbish. You
I
know?
agree, but I mean,
No, I agree.
we're talking about episodes. Do you want to jump to the end, or he fucking sucks at it?
He does.
He
Yeah.
fucking gets his. I mean,
yeah.
not.
No, the thing is, I'm ahead.
You're ahead. I get it.
But I'm pretty
Right.
sure episode 6 is the one that ends with
big
the.
one.
Oh,
Yeah.
Probably should have said at the start of the show, we're going to spoil the first 6
Yeah.
episodes.
I think it's episode 5.
No, it's episode 6.
Because
I'm
episode
sure-
6 is the flashback episode.
I'm sure.
Oh no, you're right.
Is he?
Episode
Because
6 is
I'm
flashback.
sure I remember watching episode 6 and then thinking, wow,
Oh.
we picked a weird place to stop.
Yeah, because
Oh.
he basically he dies in episode
Yeah.
5.
I don't watch it all, maybe he stays dead, but
to me he's dead.
yeah. It's like,
And then-
I've ever told, I mean, it's anime related, like little sidebar. I used to watch One Piece, the anime,
Oh, okay.
and
Oh, I love this story.
I watched it on Toonami.
Go on.
And they did it in really weirdly divided seasons. I guess they just took a bunch of episodes. This is season 1. A bunch more episodes. This is season 2.
Was it the 4Kids dub?
Might have been. I don't
Oh,
know.
because they have pop guns instead of real guns. Sanji has like a candy cane instead of a cigarette, and they just change it
That's
so much.
Really strange. I don't remember anything along those lines. But the season ended with Luffy falling off a cliff and everyone thinking he's dead.
Right.
And I just never watched any more episodes. So that's how that ends for me. He fell off a cliff and died.
Never became Pirate King. That's it.
That's it. Mission over.
Never became a supernova. Gone.
Spoilers.
Yeah, enough about One Piece.
So do you guys want
yeah.
to?
One Piece is a big topic.
Do you guys want to? Oh, fucking hell.
Well, you were saying about episode 6 with the...
All right. Yeah. Let's.
Are we gonna jump to
back.
episode 6? Let's
wait,
jump back
there's
for a
one
sec.
one point
Yeah.
about episode 4 where the one after their training they do a bit more training, which when they're fighting each other I found it weird for fighting Titans, but that then goes on to the whole conspiracy thing
Yeah.
where people are Titans. You know,
Yeah.
and then spoilers. But episode 4,
What?
the
What?
ending.
What?
I mean, I'm laughing because I know that because of Tumblr, but
I know that because of the manga.
yeah, and well, you wouldn't know that if you just watched the first 6 episodes.
No, you would have. You know, he's watched 9. I think you see things. You knew Annie was
No,
anyway. didn't
he.
you?
I knew
I'm
Annie
talking
was.
about the people
Oh,
watching.
yeah. They spoiled everything for them. But, sorry.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, no, not them. God,
Okay.
God help
You
them.
have to put a spoiler warning at the start. So but I guess people know by now, though, don't they?
Well, the thing is, I
Well,
imagine.
we spoiled more than we watched, so I don't know. Sorry.
Well, the thing is, I inferred that from the Annie thing, and I think the Annie thing is really well done,
Yeah.
so we're
Yeah.
probably okay.
The ending of episode 4, where he's like, humanity's gonna bring it back. We're gonna do it.
Yeah.
And then the colossal titans behind
That
him.
was awesome.
I thought that was a hallucination. I genuinely
I
thought he
did
was
too.
hallucinating.
I was
Yeah,
like,
that's it.
no fucking way. Because the first time you see the Colossal Titan, the lightning strikes and then he turns up. You think he's been like thing.
Yeah.
I didn't know that he literally just goes, boom, what the fuck's up, bitch? Alright, bye. Woo!
It's so cool. Because Aaron's got all this new motivation. He's
Yeah,
like, I can
yeah.
do it.
And then his
And then
arm
he just
just...
gets so angry.
And like,
And like, yeah. He becomes Kazura Miller.
Let's go on to that then, episode 6.
that is, I want to
Or
talk.
5, I can't remember which one.
Whichever one.
Either one. I didn't
Yeah.
make notes for one of them. Oops.
I've watched a couple more episodes, and Aaron still doesn't come back into it, right? And the
Ooh, that's cool.
one of the main,
right.
yeah, he's
He's
out
out
of
of
it
action
for
for a
at
while.
least 3.
Ah, right.
At least 3.
Oh, really?
Because
There's no flashback of that.
No, things just
Oh,
carries on. That's why part of me is wondering, like, that would be really good if he is just dead.
Yeah, yeah.
Because he's in the intro as well. That's why I don't. think he's dead.
That would go from what my stars are all the way to a 10. If they did that, because that's such a smart thing to do.
I thought it was going to happen when I read the manga. I
Really?
was like, the main character's dead. That's it.
So I guess he's not then.
Well, it
Cheers.
might be.
Come on, dude. I
Come
know. No, that's right. But
I thought it would have been great if they did that and then made Mikasa the main character or something and trying to avenge her brother then.
That would be awesome.
Or, well, not a brother, a stepbrother, whatever.
And a boyfriend kind
yeah.
of.
I don't look at his relationship yet. I hope they don't get to
I
that.
hope they don't either, but at least
Because it would be
anime.
shonen again. Like,
do.
oh, I like you, but I don't.
I do. Same.
It's your first anime, Jack. Your first one in a.
I thought they were really
so-
cute. They'd have really pretty children. They'd have really pouty faces.
Hinata should go out with it.
And really angry, pouty faces.
Yeah, and just basically, there's a great cinematography in the backstory. You know when Eren and his dad are knocking on the door, and you think
Yes,
it's them,
that's
and then they're all
great.
dead, and you're like, wait, what? And then you find out. When
It's the time jump.
yeah.
I can't remember. There's actually a term for it, but I fucking lost it.
Oh,
I
that's good.
one thing I did like. I'm not gonna say I didn't like this. I just found it kind of.
Fuck you.
Oh, I didn't write that. Oh, I might have done. Here's my handwriting. It might have been a Snapchat.
Your
Maybe.
self-esteem issues. I like this anime. Oh, fuck you, Jack.
I've also got a note on here that says use quick saves instead of replaying.
Hey,
Not sure
keep
what
that
that's.
in mind.
Okay, anyway. One of the things that, like, I did like, as I said, I really did like it, but it is weird, and I don't know, it unnerved me a bit, is when Eren kills the dude. Just stabs the shit out of
Oh,
him,
yeah,
and then
that-
is
that
on
was-
him,
Which way?
beating him. and
Remember when Mikasa and the guy, it's just like there's three of them. and
Oh,
he comes in
fuck,
and he's
yeah.
like,
That made me like him less
oh
as
no,
well.
wait, he kills that guy and then Mikasa stabs the guy.
Yeah.
And she breaks the floorboards and
Yeah.
stuff and it's like, oh my god.
Rest in bitch face killing the guy. Okay.
I can understand that.
I love
though.
the idea of killing though, in that, the way they portray it, like you've got to do it, you've got to overcome
But
it.
that's the thing.
Fight, was
makes
it say
sense.
fight or die or
Yeah,
something like that?
yeah,
That's great.
survival.
I love that line.
I like
That's
it
a
too.
really
It's
good
cool.
line.
I think it makes sense for her, and I completely agree. She just saw her parents just die.
Yeah, yeah.
Fucking Aaron. I mean,
that's a
That,
bit
that's why I'm
strange.
saying it's a bit weird.
Maybe he's
I
just
just-
got a mental problem. He's
That's
just
what I'm
really
saying. This is why I
angry.
don't like him because he just seems like he's a fucking psychopath. It
Well,
looks
isn't
like
that
he was
interesting?
looking for...
Isn't that interesting as a character? to
If
have
he was actually insane, I'd love it.
I honestly,
But
I don't know, because
it
he is.
feels like the show is trying to make me sympathise with him, which I don't.
I don't know.
When after his mum dies, I feel bad for him, and then when I get to know him as a person, I'm like, oh,
Look,
God.
we've only watched 6 episodes, 9 episodes.
Yeah.
And Tom and Aaron is actually pretty safe because you've seen exactly the same amount of Aaron as I have.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know whether I mean, he's the main guy, yeah, but you can do that, and people have done that of just distrusting the main character. Breaking Bad's another great example of that.
Oh yeah, I agree with you.
So like,
Definite.
I don't know. I get the impression that he is kind of just a psychopath who's just angry at all times.
If they kept that going and they made it more prominent, then
and they
it
made him
was-
pay for it, or did something.
Yeah,
with it,
something like you have to do in stuff. But what was my point? But
Baron's gonna raise my hand. Jack loses his mind.
go on, say it yourself.
I was gonna say is, that like I didn't mind Aaron killing the guy. It made me think he was a psychopath, but I didn't think I was supposed to think anything else because he is literally on top of the guy, screaming at him as he's
Yeah.
is he punching him or stabbing him? I can't
Stabbing
remember.
him.
Stabbing him. You're not supposed to think that that's sane. That is an insane
No.
action, and I don't think anybody's gonna dispute that.
If you-
It's that his father didn't seem to mind. It's like, oh, you just killed. Well done, spout. Well
yeah,
done.
he just
I
gave him
am
a
a
little
fe-
telling off, but that was it.
No,
He
it was.
didn't
It was.
mind
What
nothing.
he says. Well, you could have got hurt. Not that you killed the guy, Aaron.
Yeah, I feel like that was
Call the
more in
cops.
character because his dad is a fucking shifty motherfucker.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Maybe he didn't
Every time
see-
he comes in,
Oh.
the shifty motherfucker
Yeah.
alarm goes off.
What's in his basement, guys?
What's in the basement?
Erin, go to my basement and find out what's in
You
there.
said the Germans. You said Erin in
go to
German,
my-
and then you
I don't
went
know where
Welsh
it came from.
immediately. And, Erin, go to my basement.
Get in my basement, bud. Find out what I got in there. Find the key.
Right, get the car.
Also,
go to
can I
Merthyr.
just ask you guys something? And people are going to shout at me because I definitely missed something. Where does the key come from?
Yeah, I have no idea.
What the fuck? It just cuts, and he's got the keys.
Son, would you
No,
like
that-
a necklace?
No,
There's a
that
key.
fucking dream. Was that a flashback?
When his father's
Oh,
grabbing.
yes, that is
It's a
actually
flashback.
happened. I believe
right.
it actually
Because
happened.
I was confused. I totally agree with that. I couldn't tell. Is he dreaming about that? And then he wakes up with the key. So I was like, did that happen in the time gap? Did the father come back and then go away?
I don't know when
Yeah,
it was.
because what I was thinking is like, he has a flashback right at the beginning in episode 1, which is a premonition of the future.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And then
It's
there's
got
one
stuff that
about
happens,
that.
and then there's something that happens. I was like, oh, that's another premonition.
I-
But he's got the key. I was like, what's going on?
I think it's meant to be as confusing as it is because they do explain it.
Yeah.
Alright,
Because
good.
it's all conspiracy based and after, and you're like, you can't trust anything
Everyone
anyone
just
says.
keys start appearing out of
Get so many keys.
It looks over there's a TARDIS over there, and he's got the key.
well, I guess I'm going to be the most pissy doctor in the world. Eat your heart out, Peter Capaldi.
But yeah, overall, I thought these 6 episodes were great. You know,
I thought
I
it
really liked it.
absolutely fantastic. A couple of like loose notes that I got that I didn't get to talk about. Just reading my stream of thought here is Keith. Just the word Keith, because I wasn't gonna forget that one. Blondie's a guy.
Right.
And the line that made me, this is easily, and I'm sorry if you like this line, you shouldn't, was when, you know that when you were complaining about earlier, the one who's just horrible to Aaron for no reason? He rubs his hand on the back of one of the characters, and she's like, what did you just wipe on me? My trust in others. And I wrote that down.
I fucking love that line, bro.
Because
I thought it was awesome.
the worst line.
I thought this was supposed to be funny. Or
I hope, if it is intended as a joke that this character is just full of, like,
weird, like
yeah, then I'm okay with it. But he delivers it so seriously, and because it's just like, you know, what did you just wipe me? My trust. It's like, what did you wipe me? My hope for this planet. It's like, it was just...
It is. It's
It
weird.
it equates to someone being like, look it over there. all the fucks I get.
Yeah,
It really did, and I'm not exaggerating.
Pretentious, isn't it?
It
You know?
is.
Yeah.
I burst out laughing. It was another time I had to rewind
I
it.
found it strange. I
It's
was just
such
like,
a
huh?
weird
I
line.
remember reading it in the manga and having to read it a couple of times just to be like, did this happen? Be like, yeah, oh, okay.
Just a quick thing about the art, because we've talked about it a bit.
Yeah.
It was an artistic choice. It was clearly different. They weren't going for generic art, anime art. It was clearly a different artistic choice. I didn't like it, but it was nothing wrong with it. I just didn't personally like
Alright.
it. I think it fit the story, but again,
It's quite
the
big
story.
Are you talking about
idea.
the sorry, I got lost in that sentence. Felt like it was going somewhere else. Are you talking about the art overall?
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't like that?
No, I didn't. Again, I don't think it was bad. I think it was really well done. I just think that overall, it kind of. I get the same thing
But
with
you like
Dark
art. But
games.
you like Archer. That's a very similar
I don't
animation
think the
style.
art in Archer is very well. But again, I don't
love
think, I think
both.
the color palette is the thing I'm talking about mostly.
Oh, okay.
I think the color palette worked for the anime and the story.
Right.
I just couldn't. There was never ever like, oh, that looked cool. Like the Colossal Titan. I mean, I don't know if they can see it in the background. They probably can't. But
They're smaller.
he was my favorite thing artistically because he stood out. He was bright.
Oh, yeah.
And I feel like I can't say her name. Rest in bitch face. She has
See?
Mikasa. She has the scarf is really cool, and I like the significance of it. And there's really cool fan art where it shows it being like wings because she is kind of like the guardian angel. That was really cool, but I don't think they did it enough. I feel like a lot of it is very bleak and kind of all melds
I don't
together.
really like the art, but I didn't like the character art. Sometimes the characters seemed...
You talking about the eyes?
Yeah, there's something about big eyes that I don't really enjoy much in an anime. Like, to an extent, sorry,
Yeah.
but...
It has that common problem with animes, and I don't think I'm out of line saying this. I mean, I've seen enough to know that this is a general problem with anime, which is main character syndrome, where the main character is so much more detailed than any other character if he's standing in a crowd. You see that image of Yu-Gi-Oh! Where it's like, let's play guess the main character, and it's him with his hair and the necklace and his blue coat, and everyone else is just generic guy.
Yeah,
And like, all the main characters are really well done, but anytime they're standing in a crowd, I notice, well, that guy's just eyes and a mouth, he's not even got a nose.
yeah. I think that's probably a choice though to make them stand out.
Well, I think it's also, it saves a lot of time and money. You don't have to draw a super, because it didn't
Yeah.
take it out, it didn't take them away from me. I am staring at the main characters, you know, but if I did glance to any non-named characters, I noticed, they were also a bit greyer, I noticed as well, like a little bit more washed out, I don't know.
I think it kind of adds to the
Just to draw
overall
it.
color palette that I've started.
Right.
Well, like again, I wouldn't have them change the costumes. They really feel like they fit.
Costumes are cool.
But I was like, they should have more accessories, like Mikasa. Like she has the scarf, and it really puts her out.
Even just to make them a little bit more
Personal.
yeah, you know. So when the deaths happen,
One of the
who
girls. Sorry to interrupt. One of the girls looked exactly like Mikasa without the scarf.
Oh,
I was like,
yeah.
is
I
that-
know the one you're
Oh,
talking about.
wait,
I kept
she hasn't got the
thinking it was
scarf.
her. She had slightly different hair.
The time jump messed me about. Okay, so we just lost a lot of footage.
Yep.
We gotta be really quick here. All we talked about was the music and animation. Me and Jack liked the music, Cameron was indifferent about it. Likes the music.
Not as much as you.
Not as much as me.
Okay, you like that.
Animation quality was great.
Superb.
We all agreed on that.
Yeah. Okay.
Just we haven't got time.
I didn't like it.
We have like we're running on fumes. You guys didn't miss much. We just lost a little bit, but we
yeah.
are running out of battery, and these two have to go. We're gonna do our scores, Cameron.
All right. I think the anime was good. I really liked it. It wasn't for my taste. The one thing I didn't like was the tone. The tone really put me off. But I think it was a good anime. So overall, I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10.
Which is the same thing you've rated Sword Art Online. We've done this before.
I understand, but Sword Art Online had more problems, but I liked it more.
And then you didn't like something like that. Okay.
Jack!
I think that the show is very, very good. I don't think that it's like there's an initial problem, but once you get over that, it's okay. And the problem is that
speed.
God.
There we go.
The change.
Oh my God.
The change from survival.
Yeah, the change from survival to conspiracy was a bit of a daunting thing, but once you address it, it's okay. I'm glad you.
And he's gonna watch my episodes.
I gotta watch more. What did I give it? 8? 8 out of 10.
All right.
8 out of 10.
By me, Jack. Okay, okay. The main thing, and I said this way more dramatically last time, but now I'm rushing, is that this anime has sold me on anime. I want to watch more anime
Super
now.
great, because this is a good point rather than a shonen to start.
It's exactly what he said, but way more
But I
succinct.
worded it so much more, but now it's concise.
Yeah, I really like it. I want to watch better animes, but obviously this is really the first one I've watched as being an adult. We mentioned Dragon Ball Z last time we recorded, which I said was probably about a 7, so base what I
For
rate
teenagers.
this. For teenagers, kind of
But
targeted at
this
kids.
is good. Right.
And I'm rating Attack on Titan 9 out of 10.
Great.
Right, okay. So what are we doing next month, guys? What are we doing?
What the fuck do you mean next month?
That's it now, Jack.
What?
No,
That's
this
it.
is
You
it
get,
for
you
you.
get one
Oh,
ticket
no.
on the anime duo train.
Guys,
And this is your station.
fuck you guys. I'm in my own anime show with blackjack and hookers.
So, Cameron.
Forget the blackjack.
All right. What are we doing? What do we do next week without Jack?
Akami ga Kill, I believe it's
Akami ga
pronounced.
Kill? And
Guys, I know that joke was really
by-
funny, but you have got to rush.
Okay, that was by Dylan Ross. Thank you,
Dylan Ross,
Dylan
thank you,
Ross.
Dylan
You're the best. Okay, next we're gonna watch Akami no Kill.
Akami no
Post
Kill.
your reviews of Akami no Kill in
Thanks
the
for the
below.
comments last month.
Yeah, they were really nice.
Good, I liked them.
I've been Karen Morris.
I've been Jack Thomas.
We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye, guys.